Right, welcome back to Jack Slayter Notes once again. What up, everyone? We go from social science. Well, it's either way. We went from CDP to social studies, social science. We already did February 7th of paper 2. 60 questions, 60 marks. Now we already did February 7th, so we are going to do now is February 8th. 2026. All right, let's continue from that. Question number 1. The cultural unity and diversity of the present time could be applied to which of the following historical facts related to Hampi? Option 1. Hampi temples were the hub of cultural activities. Devadasis, that is, temple dancer performed before the deity royalty but not for the masses. That is also correct, I think. The Maha Navami festival, known today as Navaratri in the south, was one of the most important festivals celebrated at Hampi. So here are your option. Option 1, A and C are correct. That means B is false because they performed in front of everyone. That is alright. Question number A and C is correct. That means Hampi temples are the hub of cultural activities, and the Mahanavami festival, known today as Navaratri in the south, was one of the most important festivals celebrated at Hampi. Question number 2. Consider the following assertion and reasoning to choose the appropriate options. Assertion: there was a huge demand for indigo in the European market in 17th and 18th centuries. Reason is, by the 17th century, European cloth producers persuaded their government to relax the ban on indigo import. That is correct. So assertion and reason 1 is correct, I think. By the end of 17th century, Britain began to industrialize. Well, that's not really. It's not end of the 17th century. Which answer is assertion and reason 1 are correct. Likewise, question number 3. Water scarcity is caused by the following given factor. The scarcity of water, that means the hindrance of water. So water harvesting is a positive thing. It's help water to conserve them. So I think that is the only one that is good for the water. But the variation in rainfall, contamination of water, over exploitation. So the answer should be B, C and D. Question number 4. Tamil epic Manimekalai was composed by Sattanar. That is the correct answer. Sattanar, everybody knows that. Question number 5. What will be the time at 90 degrees east when it is 12th, known as the Greenwich meridian? So this is a simple math thing. We are going to do that elaborately. It's Greenwich Mean Time, that is GMT, and it's in London. So where the clock start at 0 degree, so 0 degree, that is from there you go east, time and everything degree wise rises from west. If you go west, that decreases. So likewise, if Greenwich mean what time will be 90 degree east, that means if you got 15 degree, that is what, 1 hour. 30 degree, that is 2 hour. 60 degree, that is 4 hour. 90 degree, that is 6 hours. So 12 plus 6, that means 6 p.m. The answer should be 6 p.m. Yes, so we will do that elaborately. We will understand. It's very simple math problem, no worries. Question number 6. Which of the match the following pairs? Coffee. Alright, coffee needs warm and wet climate, not really. Moderate temperature. Jute needs very high temperature and heavy rainfall. So the B has to be 1. Where is B1? That is 4. So answer should be 4. 4, yes. Coffee needs warm and wet climate. Jute needs high temperature and heavy rainfall. Tea needs a cool climate, and wheat needs moderate temperature and rainfall. Alright, question number 7. The farmer in USA works like a businessman. Justify the statement. Choose the correct reason. Use of tractors and harvesters. If you go to YouTube or anywhere and search the farmers of America documentary or anything, they do this agricultural thing majorly, vastly. They got jet plane to fertilize the crops. They got big tractors. They got all types of milking machines, that so everything they do it majorly. They have like acres and acres of land. So yes, they work like a businessman. To justify that, yes, they use tractors. Farm size is small. No, farm size is never small. They had very big farm size. Automatic grain storage, yes, everything is automatic. There use of many machines. Already use of chemical fertilizer, yes, they use all types of chemical fertilizer. Like I said, they use jet plane to use fertilizers and everything. There's like a they use machines and everything. So yes, the only wrong answer should be farm size is small. So the answer should be ACD. Which answer is ACD? Question answer number 4. Option number 4 is ACD. So that's the answer. Question number 8. Rampurva wool, a finely polished stone sculpture of Mauryan period, has been found from that is Bihar, I think. Yes, that is Bihar. Question number 9. Which one of the following is not a permanent wind? Choose the correct answer. So permanent wind is that is always happening. So trade winds, westerlies and easterlies are the sea winds that always going on. So not a permanent wind, has to be monsoon. That is a seasonal winds, right? It comes in season. So question number 10. Analyze the following historical claims with reference to the relation between tribes, nomads, and settled communities. Choose the appropriate option. Varna-based society did not interact with the tribal people at all. The rigidity was due to caste system. There were tribes that rejected both the caste system and orthodox Hinduism. Okay, some tribes established extensive states with well organized system of administration. Political power brought them in conflict with the larger kingdom. So the answer B, C, D are valid. That means Varna society did not interact with the tribal people. That means the correct should be Varna society did interact with the tribal people. The rigidity was due to caste system, not really. So the answer is B, C, and D are valid. Question number 11. In reference to Panchayat Raj, which of the following sequence is correct hierarchical order? So the hierarchical order has to be first Panchayat, wait a second, Gram Sabha, Panchayat Samiti or Panchayat Samiti Gram Sabha. The answer is 4. That is Gram Sabha, Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti Jila. Oh, wait a second. That is reverse order. So first Jila Parishad, Panchayat, Jila Parishad should be the highest order, right? Then Panchayat Samiti, then Gram Panchayat, then Gram Sabha. Okay, so Gram Sabha, Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti, and Jila Parishad. Yeah, smallest to the highest order, I think. That means. But Gram Panchayat are formed. Gram Panchayat, all the Gram Panchayat from Gram Sabha, right? Okay, we'll check on that later. Question number 12. Celestial bodies in our solar system having their own heat and light are, well, that has to be stars, because meteors are small particles that don't really particularly have lights. Or satellites are likewise moon. Our moon is satellite, but it get its light from sun, right? So planets doesn't have any heat and light of their own, because we get our heat and light from sun. Likewise, only stars had their own heat and light. Question number 13. The progress of any nation is dependent upon the unity of different social political groups. Political parties should be mindful of their unity during the competitive electoral politics. Which of the following major developments within the national movement attest the above mentioned assertion? During the Rowlatt Satyagraha, the participant tries to ensure that Hindus and Muslims were united in the fight against British rule. From the late 1930s, the League began viewing the Muslim as a separate nation from the Hindus. The Congress rejection of the League desired to form a joint Congress League government in the United Province in 1937. So all of them are, wait a second, A, B, C. The Congress rejection of the League desired to form a joint, or they did not reject that, they actually formed the joint forces. So answer A and B are only correct. Question number 14. Which means of communication has the most important role in making world a large global society. So this has to be mass media, because messaging through pigeons and satellite communication are very medieval in this sense. So mass media has to be the first. Question number 15. The Satnami movement in central India was founded by Ghasidas, of course. That is, wait a second. Yes, Ghasidas. Question number 16. Biotic and abiotic conditions existing on the earth form natural environment, environmental management, human made environment or human environment. So biotic and abiotic condition actually forms natural environment. So that is the answer. Question number 17. Which of the following is not an example of discrimination? Preventing a group of people from taking water from a common well, that is straight up stereotype. Not an example, that is a discrimination. Not an example, like it says not allowing a group of people to drink tea in same cups, that also is discrimination. It's literally, you know stereotypical thing. Stopping someone from living in certain neighborhood, that indeed a discrimination. Asking a boy not to cry as boys don't cry, that is straight up stereotype. The rest are a bit but they are, the rest are mostly stereotype, discrimination, but the fourth one is straight up stereotypical, as you can say. So that is the answer, not a discrimination. Question number 18. The process of India becoming a nation was a long drawn one. Emergence of political consciousness and the result of political association take time. India did not one day wake up to independence in 1947, choose the appropriate evidence as reason. The consciousness of British control over the resource of India began to be clearly stated by the political association formed after 1850. The political association worked with the idea that the people should be sovereign. Pune Sarvajanik Sabha Madras Mahajan Sabha functioned in specific parts of the country and catered to the specific. Pune Sarvajanik Sabha Madras Mahajan Sabha functioned in specific parts of the country and catered to the specific region, community, and class. The Ilward Bill controversy depend the desire for all Indian organization of educated Indians, for an all India organization of educated Indians. So the answer is ABD, not Purna Shah. Sarvajanik Shah, Madras Mahajan Shah function in specific parts of the country are catered to the specific region, community, and class. So that is not the evidence as a reason. Question number 19. Sufficient rainfall on the earth's surface is very important for following reasons. Survival of plants and animals, correct. Bring fresh water to the earth's surface, true. It brings out, not really. It doesn't bring doubts. Sufficient rainfall is important for the following reason. No, it does not, because most of the groundwater comes from rainfall. But that is also correct. So answer should be A, B, and D. Yes. Question number 20. Which of the following places in India is known as Little Tibet? We all know that's Ladakh. Question number 21. In the following, how many have been matched incorrectly? There is only two of the above, but you can go that two of this is correct, so two of this is wrong. You have to find that out. Question number 22. Why is the globe considered as a true model of the earth? Choose the most appropriate statement. It is fixed. Countries, continents, oceans are shown in correct size. That is the only correct answer. Yes. Question number 23. In the context of Masulipatam, which had contacts in the context of Masulipatam, which had contacts with distant land for trade, choose the appropriate option. In the 17th century, both the Dutch and English East India companies attempted to control Masulipatam as it became the most important port on the Andhra Pradesh. Dutch were people from distant land of Denmark and Spain. Wait a second. The competition between trading groups such as the uh, Golconda, Nobler Persian merchants, Telugu Komati Chettis, and European trades made the city prosperous. Okay, Mir Jumla, the Mughal governor, began to play off the Dutch and the English against each other. All right. Choose the appropriate option. Okay. C, D, A. Appropriate options are A, C, D. That's where the people from distance learn. Wait a second. Like says a distant learns of trade, so the answer is C, D, and N. Answer number 4 is the answer. Option number 4 is the answer. In which year did James Mill publish his 3 volumes book titled A History of British India? That is in the year 1817. Question number 25. Lithosphere is the solid crust or the hard top layer of the earth. Reason. Question number 25. Lithosphere is the solid crust or the hard top layer of earth, and it is made up of rocks, minerals, and covered by a thin layer of soil. So it is both of them are true, and the reason does explain A. So the answer is A. Both A and are correct, and R explains A. Question number 26. Consider the following statement of Bengal temple building and choose the appropriate options. Temples were built to demonstrate piety. Temples are built to demonstrate power. Temples began to copy the double roof structure of the thatched huts. Temple began to copy the four roofed structure of the thatched huts. So four roof they actually copy. So A and B are correct, and also C and D are also they use 2 and 4 both. Okay, so all A, B, C, D and are appropriate. Question number 27. How much longitudinal extent does one time zone of the earth of 1 hour A cover? 15 degree. That is question number 28. A river makes waterfall while flowing in the mountains. Select the two main reasons for the waterfalls. River moves in between trees. River flows over a hard rock. Yes, hard rock is the correct answer. Down a steep valley also. So answer should be B and D. Answer is B and D is correct. Question number 29. The first cotton mill in India was set up as a spinning mill in the Bombay in the year, I think it's 54. Yes, 1854 is the answer. Question number 30. Dispel the misconception to arrive at appropriate conclusion with regard to the change in the colonial agrarian policies. As Diwan, the company became the chief administrator of the territory under its control. Okay. After 1765, company had to think of administrating the land and organizing its revenue resources. Before 1765, the company purchased goods in India by importing huge quantities of grain from Britain. After 1970s, the revenue collected by Bengal could finance the purchase of goods for export. So, like it says, A and B is the only answer. C and D are wrong. Alright, read it again. Question number 31. Which of the following are institutional sources of debts in rural India? Money lenders, corporates, government banks, landlords. So institutional has to money lenders cannot be institutional. So that has to be cooperatives and government banks. Question number 32. Which of the following are the example of intervention in religion by state as laid out in the Indian Constitution? Abolition of untouchability, prohibition of child labor, ban on child marriage, laying out Vishaka guidelines. So intervention in religion has to be, ban on child marriage and abolition of untouchability and ban of child marriages. So that's a religious intervention. I think it is true. Question number 33. Below are two statements. Read them carefully and choose the correct answer with the help of given options. Statement 1. Field work, project work, and group activities should form the basis of teaching and learning in social science. Okay, that is alright. Project having direct link with the core community may be encouraged development, curiosity in the social science teaching. That's both of them are correct, and yes, the other statement. Question number 34. Read the following statement and choose the correct options. Statement A. The work done by the Public Work Department of the government do not need the approval of the members of the Legislative Assembly. That is wrong, because they do need the permission of, or at least approval of, MLA. People elect the member of the Legislative Assembly as their representative. That's actually true. A is false. Yes, B is true. Question number 35. As a teacher of social science, Which of the following will be your careful? Will you be careful about while discussing issues like gender discrimination and caste discrimination? Encouraging speaking up in the class, that is true. Making students learn to listen to others, that is also true. Non-expectation of conflict in the classroom. You have to accept that developing atmosphere of trust, so it has to be A, B, and D. Yes. Question number 36. Below are two statements. Read them carefully and choose the correct answer with the help of given options. In school, summative exam assessment are have more visibility. Sure, that really puts school in the spotlight with the massive result at the end of the year. So, summative assessment checks the learning outcome at the end of the grade or unit or term. That is also true. Both statement 1 and 2 are true. Consider the following in text question. Fill in the blanks given in the chapter on urban administration in municipal corporation. The elected member are called. Which of the following skill is being tested here? So the question is fill in the blanks given the chapter urban administration in municipal. The elected members are called. So that only need remembering knowledge that is in your head. So you need to remember that. So answer is remembering. Question number 38. Boys are into sports whereas girls are into arts and crafts. Which what does this statement reflect? That traditional stereotypes, I think. Yes, stereotypes. Question number 39. An important element in the social science classroom is acknowledgement of India's diversity. Which of the following traits should be developed as a social science teacher, and you consciously inculcate in students so that this diversity is truly appreciated? Reciting slogans about unity, not really, that's not really true. It has to be out. Being sensitive and respectful while talking about cultures which are different from one's own, that is correct. Constantly reflecting on one's prejudice among the rise from the social location. So the B and C are true, so the answer has to be 4, only B and C. Question number 40. Which of the following purpose Indian Constitution does not serve? To delineate the ideas of country should uphold, keep itself static so that the structures in the society remain unchanged. Okay, wait a second. Coordination among the different communities to live together give rise to the religion against individual and communities. So the answer is keep itself static so that the structure in the society remains unchanged. Indian question does not serve to that. Alright. Question number 41. Assessment is below are the two statements. Read them carefully and choose the correct answer with the help of given option. Assessment is made continuously in educational setting. Of course, assessment is a process that involves doing a number of things at different times. Maybe. Yes, both A and are true. Below are two statements. One of them is assertion and the other is reason. Read them carefully and choose the correct answer with the given help of given option. Like other subjects in social science, also learner needs to be actively engaged in order to construct their own knowledge. Of course, that is correct. Active engagement refers to engagement of body and mind. That is also correct. So both A and B are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Question number 43. Political science suggests dynamism that engages with process that produces structures of domination and their contestations by social force. Political science imagines civil society as the sphere world. More informed, receptive, and responsible citizens should be produced. Both statement 1 and 2 are true, that those are correct options. If you want to introduce your students about the difference between the Buddhist statues made in Mathura, that is Mathura style, and Takshashila, that is Gandhara style, the most appropriate method would be taking a trip to the National Museum, right? Yeah, we're showing a PowerPoint presentation based on above mentioned, but the answer here says discussion based on the picture given in the book. Yes, that is the most cheapest way, but most appropriate should have to be taking a trip to the National Museum where there is a style, or even show a PowerPoint. PowerPoint model are more effective, but here it says the discussion based on the picture given in the textbook, so you can really bind by that. Sometimes the answer is what the guy that makes the question paper, the answer in his mind is the only correct one. Otherwise, more appropriate. Both all of them are, when there is a question that has answered that all were appropriate, you can really choose one. but the more appropriate one if you choose and you think that is the correct answer. But if the examiner set their mind to the appropriate one they think, so you can't really do anything because the debate doesn't happen here, because all the answers were looking very fine and appropriate. So question number 45, which of the following provision does not promote social justice? Special schemes for girls in government school, it does promote a bit of social justice, right? Special police station, that's the answer. Equal power for equal social justice, why do you need special police stations? Prohibition on human trafficking, of course. Answer is special police station. Question number 46. Below are two statements. One of them is assertion and the other is reason. Read them carefully and choose the correct answer with the help of given option. In India, studying social science is associated more with girls than boys. That is not true. This type of approach to social science is indicative to patriarchal and gender-biased society. The answer both and two are is the correct answer. Studying social science is more with girls than boys. Well, I don't really think so, but okay. This type of approach to social science is indicative of patriarchal and gender-biased society. Okay. Question number 47. Below are two statements. One of them is assertion and the other is reason. Read them carefully and choose the correct answer with the help of given assertion. A test is a form of assessment that is correct. It's answer the equation either in comparison with other or in comparison with the domain of performance tasks already. That is also true. Both are not true and are the correct expression. While teaching your class about the government responsibilities of providing healthcare, you decide to conduct a debate between the two groups of students on whether the healthcare system in the country is functioning properly or not. Which of the following is not a desirable goal of organizing a classroom debate? Enhancing student involvement and participation in the class, that is also a point of desirable goal. Training student to make use of supportive, that is also improving student ability to see an issue from, yes, that is teaching student to become competitive, win at any cost. Now that is not the appropriate answer. Answer should be 4. Student teaching student to become more and win at any cost, that is not really, but in life that is the only way. Which of the following method may be used for improving the national standard of social science education to meet the challenges of global competition? Identify learning outcomes, yes. Developing innovative improved evaluation tools, that is more correct. Designing centralized standardized, no, that is not. Developing audiovisual, that is correct. So it has to be ABD, so the answer is ABD, yes. Question number 50, which of the following is correct in the context of testing? It is carried out on skills related to particular subject. It is usually done by posing a set of questions in a uniform manner. It is an unsystematic procedure for measuring the students. So the answer is A and B. It is usually an answer, that is not correct. Alright, question number 51. Below are the two statements. Read them carefully and choose the correct answer with the help of given option. Statement 1. Social studies or science became a part of the official curriculum in the modern India only with the basic education program of Gandhiji. That is correct. The Secondary Education Commission provided the official recognition to the subject social science at all India level. That is also correct. Both and statement 1 and 2 are correct. 52. Democracy or equity should be taught only by covering these as knowledge areas, only by making them as a part of classroom process by covering these knowledge areas, but not make this part of classroom processes by covering these knowledge areas as well as part of processing process is the only correct one. So answer is 4. Question number 53. Which of the following statement on market are true? In weekly market, things are available in cheaper rates because the shop owner purchases directly from the producer. That is correct. Phone and internet shopping have caused losses to the neighborhood shop. That is also correct. The goods sold in permanent shops are often costly because the shop owner have to bear the expenditure of rent, electricity, government fees, etc. That is also correct. So the answer has to be A, B, both, all of them. Question number 54. Which of the following action would not be helpful in addressing the marginalization of certain communities? Social movement, government policy, mainstreamization, or protecting cultural diversity? So as well as social movement, government policy, and protecting cultural diversity would be helpful in addressing marginalization of a certain community. But mainstreamization is the one that push them to go big, but that is not really, that is a negative situation in this case. If you mainstreamize marginalization, then it would be a chaos. Question number 55. Answer. Question number 55. Below are two statements. One of them is assertion and the other is reason. Read them carefully and choose the correct answer with the help of given options. Conventional social science teaching emphasizes learning about society and times without reference to the child's actual lived experience. Okay. Converting sets of social science facts into process of social inquiry has been a major strength of the test based on NCF 2005. Both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. Question number 56. Which of the following is true in context of representative democracy in India? People exercising franchise, of course, that is the contest. Direct participation, no, people don't participate directly, that is an indirect situation. Indirect participation, representative, no, representative participate direct. Dual citizenship, no, India doesn't have any dual citizenship, so answer has to be one. People exercising franchise. Question number 57. Which of the following will help in developing better teaching language, teaching learning environment in social science classroom? Developing of reference libraries, of course. Creation of flexible school timings, also true. Accessibility to disseminate native technologies only. Wait a second. Developing starting with regional language, that is also correct. So A, B and D has to be the answer. Yes. Question number 58. Below are two statements. Read them carefully and choose the correct answer with the help of given option. It should be statement 1. It should be easy to promote equity and democracy through a classroom where the teacher do not allow children to ask questions. No, that is false. It would be difficult to promote equity and democracy through a classroom where varying options are encouraged to be voiced and debated. It is difficult. No, it would be easy to. So the both it's reverse. I think so. Both statements are false. Question number 59. It is important to share example of plurality of people in community in the social science textbook because it ensures oversimplification of community, not really national level of community. It is facilitating the community facility and generalized portraits of local community is the only answer. Question number 60. Which of the following feature of Indian constitution does not allow the legislature and the executionary to interfere in the works of judiciary? That is separation of power, because the power has been separated. All right, so these are the things that we just discuss the question paper and the answer. We did not discuss elaborately. We will do that in the upcoming sessions, upcoming class. These are just the questions we like to talk about. These are just the questions that already happened in the exam that happened in February 7th. We did February 7th paper to social studies, social science, and today is February 8th. Tomorrow might be we will do the re-exam of March month question paper, and then we will start CDP and social science. We'll do that. We'll till Ctet, and if in between Assam Tet or GTPGT any announcement happens, we'll start go to Assam and its people. But CDP, we are good. The pedagogy at CDP we are doing, that is going to be helpful for any sort of Assam Tet, GTPGT or Ctet also. So this is, thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe to the channel. Check Slayter notes. Work hard, study hard, smart, whatever. Goodbye and have a nice day. All right.